Hey there and welcome back to ICBM Escalation. In this partnered video, Slytherin asked me to show you 3 different strategies to complete the Able Archer scenario. They call it Bloody Bowman. The first way to go about it is going to be just flying out forces from a Canadian base, one at a time. Operation 2, or Strategy 2, is going to be just deploying forces from overseas by ships. So we'll have one massive landing force arriving. And option 3 is going to be upgrading the aircraft and launching a powerful air campaign. This means we will have still to use some armies to complete the objective, but air is going to be the dominant force. You can find links down below, or rather time codes down below, to skip to your favorite strategy. Now, for this mission, one way or another way, I will need some decent armies. Thankfully, my armies right now are pretty good. Ground forces already have upgraded mixed weapons. This is a bit expensive, like it's 3 times the available points, so I can't do that, but I have armored midlife upgrades, which means I think I should be here, but tech-wise I'm a bit ahead. I can even upgrade them more with basic woven body armor and early tactical optics, or modular and smart army weapons, but ideally I just want to start dropping off forces quickly. So let's make sure we have a bunch of armies that I can very quickly deploy. I don't really need FOBs, nor army engineers, combat engineers, because I don't really struggle with healing my forces, as Europe has their own bases. What I would like is to get the upgraded aircraft. So we're going to go for the high efficiency heavy airframes, which will increase the efficiency of my air transports. That leaves me with 357 points. I'm going to deploy a second army base. Because I need to be able to get those forces over faster. Unfortunately, in this scenario, you're not quite allowed to, at least early game, build in Europe. So that means you're going to find yourself at the mercy of the forces that you have, which is not great. But you're going to have to make do with that operational restriction. So what I need to do is just fly all my forces in, one by one. The beauty of this is, you don't have to wait as long for your forces to arrive. As for the mission here, what we have is a very sizable push of Warsaw and Soviet forces into Germany. You can see they've already cleared quite a bit. They will push hard on you, and you simply don't have the forces. But we do have this Canadian base over here, CFS Gander. So what I'm going to do is throw 3 armies in there and immediately start flying them out. 1, 2, 3. That should make things a little easier. And what I'm going to do here is add a second army base with 2 additionals. And I'm going to say, I know that Oslo is going to come under attack, so I'm going to deploy 2 additional armies there. The rest of the US has a lot of army divisions. Problem? They can't quite make it. They cannot use the aircraft that has been provided to fly all the way across the Atlantic. Unfortunately. But units are able to get shipped across to other areas. So what I can do is just drop them off here and use this as a stepping stone. So this place here is going to get pretty busy. We're going to use it as a big, a really big runway at that. Let's see, you boys, how many do I have? 3? 1, 2, 3. And your limiting factor here is really the amount of forces you can ship in from these army bases. So this way, you can definitely ship these guys quickly. Now, before I forget, let's go for research. We're going to improve the army, because that's our focus today. Armed forces, basic woven body armor, and maybe some surface-to-air tech. So I think that's under smart weapons, air defense. We already have SAMs, improved SAMs. I don't really have SAMs, but I do want to have man-pads. Do my forces already have man-pads? Yes. So in that case, I want to improve them. Improved man-pads and light SAMs. That should keep my research busy. Production-wise, I'm thinking just more armies. It's really straightforward with this one. Just a bunch of armies. And that'll keep the production running for a while. As for that resupply ship that I ordered, I cannot deploy it anywhere in Europe, so that's a bit unfortunate. But what I can do is add it here to the Eisenhower, and with that make sure the Eisenhower survives. As well as, if you get close enough, you'll be able to get your forces, your armies that is, healed up. If, for some reason, the army bases fall. Oh, crap. Crap, we're gonna have to drop off a little sooner than I'd hoped. Otherwise, I risk getting murdered by all these army divisions here. They're coming under a lot of pressure, though. Another little thing you can do is going into diplomacy and selecting your NATO European command and say, hey dude, I have some tech that might interest you. So I'm just gonna ship him all my tech. And with that, he is gonna suddenly have some vastly superior forces. There we go. Would you like that? He does. This means that my forces, rather my allies' forces, are gonna be suddenly a lot better. The army divisions here have arrived. Transport planes going back home. And now, with these forces, maybe I can start to push back. Maybe I can save this army division here. Forward. These guys are a few generations behind. These are Leopard 1s. I have, well, what looks like a Leopard 2, I think. Leopard 2A7, if I'm not mistaken. These armies, you're going to have to wait a little bit before you're able to drop them in. Like, I do have one transport plane, but that's about it. The rest of them are still coming home. What I can immediately start doing is preparing more of these armed forces to go on a merry little adventure. Let's put nuke mode on. No pausing, please. Alright, gentlemen. Okay, you're gonna stop and you're gonna heal up, so you're going to entrench as well. And let's start pushing. There are quite a few forces. My main target, I'd say, should be that airbase. I want to get rid of that. Because that is something I can't really counter that well right now. Keep an eye on the health pools of these guys, but they seem fine. That's one army dead. Oh, special forces driving around. You can join. Are those transport birds back yet? Yes, they are. Excellent. Get in there. Armies first. Army, Common Engineer second. In the meanwhile, let's ship the rest of them over. These are coming in from Bragg. 3 more armies. And I think this is 2 armies and an army armored Common Engineer. I keep calling them army engineers, but, you know, same difference. Alright, boys. We still have to liberate Copenhagen. Unfortunately, we have a bit of a problem, as there are a couple of destroyers here. So this first army that I've sent out, they won't make it there. They simply will not make it there. We're going to drop them off at the eastern border of the Netherlands. Let's see. You guys are not doing that well. Get back here and heal up. You can hold the line for a little bit. Kill off that army division if you can. We did lose an army there. That's unfortunate. Get rid of him. You don't have to crush him under your tracks, but hey, if it works. How are we doing here? Ah, damn it. We got a cruiser here. CG. Maybe the Illustrious and her group can eliminate it. If not, I'll send submarines after it. Alright, the rest of the army divisions have arrived. You guys are in really bad shape. Now, I said that these guys are healing up the army base. I'm not so sure, because I'm not seeing it. I'm going to need you guys here. Look at this push. That's a hefty, hefty push. You guys need to move if you want to live. Can we get some army engineers over? This time around, I do need them. Here, here, here. The rest of the birds are coming home until such a time I cannot stack that army base with additional units yet.
Structure destroyed.
Structure destroyed. It's probably an army unit. Come on. Cut off this break-in. You're holding? That's impressive. Soviets are in Istanbul. Back up the Turks. If I had the firepower, I would. Right now, you're going to have to be a little patient because most of my armies are dying. And they're dying quite a bit faster than I'd like. Because at the moment, I don't have overwhelming firepower yet. But here are the reinforcements. Subsunk. Oh, that's a couple of DDs. At least the CG is gone. That's the most important thing. Put this here and put a SAM battery next to it. If you're not busy. Let's transport birds back. Yes. No. Get in. 2 plus 1. Where's the third one then? Where's your third aircraft? Oh, it's still en route. Okay, fine. Let's drop off what we can. Yeah, they finally pushed that army out of the way. Makes sense. Yeah, now my guys are healing up. Thanks to the fob. I'm going to push the weakest ones over there. And the rest of you... Well, you're not terribly healthy, but you're going to have to come with me. Get rid of them. They're engaging the Rommel Kazerne. Is this ready yet? Yes, 3 units ready to go. This is not a good time to entrench. I need you guys to move. Get in. Go. We are clearing out their armies. Decently well. These are the older, I think, packed forces. Let's go. Full health army divisions arriving right on time. You still got a SAM. Let's deploy that. We're basically, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm not evacuating, we're doing a Dunkirk Mark II. Although I'm not leaving. Focus fire on one division. Get rid of that. Focus fire on the other. I don't care about wounded ones. I just need to get fully rid of one of these divisions so that they don't come back. There's another army div. Get ready, boys. You guys can now fall back. Hamburg's getting captured. Unacceptable. Okay, we got 3 full healthy ones. Let's see. You guys ready? Because I could use another combat engineers team. 1, 2, 3. Get out of my way, dude. We're getting more and more army divisions ready, so I can easily push back. There's one. Our armies are going to get even better with that research progressing. We do need to do something about these ships here. The Kirov is making a bit of a mess of things. And with the Udaloy, it's going to be a bit tricky to get rid of them. The Eisenhower might be able to do something. But it'll be a bit challenging. Go back. I still cannot build in Europe. That's annoying. Let's get a couple of mobile SAMs. You can fly them over. And that is going to be very helpful. Let's get another combat engineers team out. Drop that here. Anyway, this is basically the gist of the first way to go about it. You just airdrop a whole bunch of armies. You gotta airdrop your FOBs. Otherwise, your forces will not heal. So keep that in mind. You gotta make sure they have the FOB. We've established supply lines. You can now deploy forces directly to Europe. Once you're here, it's basically straightforward. You just start deploying a few army bases, start deploying armies from there, and you just push right back into East Germany. One bit of a tip, try not to push into Russia, because the moment you set foot in Russia, they will nuke the absolute living crap out of you, and that is going to mean you will lose, because you cannot have those 5 million casualties. Alright, so that is strategy 1. Let's move on to strategy 2. We're going to just ship everybody across. Join the Marine Corps. For this Marine Corps setup, if you will, I'm going to use a couple of transport ships and a bunch of armies. The beauty about transport ships is that they can transport a lot. One transport ship can transport 4 armies. So yeah, you're going to be able to ship a lot of stuff out there. But the moment that you throw people into a ship, they will be very, very vulnerable. So you got to make sure you have escorts. As for my armies, let's just throw as many of them around. I can throw 12. I cannot really get enough to... Well, I can get 2 more army divisions in one ship, but you are already provided a few army divisions and some ships. So something else that might be useful is the ability to get rid of the enemy faster using my own ships. What am I going to use? Maybe I can get a destroyer or 2, or a cruiser. Yeah, I can get a cruiser. And the rest of the 91 points, let's just get 1 more army unit then. The problem that you can have with this particular strategy is that you will lose a whole bunch of Europe before you're able to push back. That is the weak point. And your armies that are currently in Europe have a pretty damn decent chance of getting completely wiped out. You only got 4 army divisions, and the first thing I'm going to do is just surrender most of the part here. I'm going to say we're going to entrench here. This way, I can still sort of tandem it with the first strategy, which means I'll be able to throw a couple of army engineers across while we're trying to reinforce the place as best we can. So I'm going to say whatever army divisions I have, I'm going to throw them across. In the meanwhile, we've got landing ships here, and you can immediately drop those army divisions in there. I'm going to say we have a 3rd landing ship here with 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 12 armies already. I'm going to attach all of these landing ships here. All of you to follow the Yorktown here. And I do believe that we have... Oh, we've got 2 more landing ships. And I have a whole bunch of armies. So let's get you, and you over there. And you're going to take the plane. And over here we got another landing ship. So let's get all of you across. No, we're not going to take the scenic route, dude. You're going to maintain your position here. And we'll come to you. The rest of the armies here, I suppose you could just throw them into a plane and then either ship them out using, let's say, strategy 1, so airlift them, or you can wait for your army divisions to come, or for your landing ships to come back. I don't find that to be the most efficient use of your time, though, because army ships, or sorry, landing ships are slow. Very slow. Even if you got your naval tech with modernized ship hulls, they're not particularly quick. So this is why I said you're going to lose a bunch of forces. What I do want to do is improve my cruise missiles as much as possible, because I want to be able to get evasive hybrid guidance cruise missiles and advanced missile guidance to allow my cruisers to back up those armies as best I can. As for my plan regarding the cruiser that's coming in, the Kirov, there's not that much you can do, because you simply don't have the numbers, you don't have the forces, you don't have the firepower. There's a problem. Alright, this guy is just gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna go, because it will take plenty of time just getting there. Let's get the carrier force from the Eisenhower over there as well. Don't care. You got 2 armies on board. Let's get a 3rd. You got... Well, you got 3 armies dropped off. Let's get 1 here. I'm going to get 1 in here. You're going to go there. I can still follow this one. Ideally, the road ahead will be completely cleared. Ideally. What are you doing? Sightseeing? Come on. You're going to go to Gander. Of course, I do need to sort of hold out in Europe as long as I possibly can. Otherwise, I risk losing Europe before my forces will get there. Typically, I find that it doesn't happen. But I'd rather not bank on it. Okay, you're going to go into the landing ship there. Let's see, who else can we ship out? Oh, gentlemen. Gentlemen. Let's go. I know you've always wanted to go to Europe. Here's your chance. Get into Fort Hood. You join that landing ship. We got so many landing ships here. We got a lot of room to transport tons and tons and tons of personnel. Okay, let's ship you out. 1, 2, 3. And over here, we're going to ship these as I can. My guys here are going to have to entrench. I'm going to entrench them close together so they can provide mutual overlapping fire support. Because you can bet your ass that Ramstein is going to get overwhelmed. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it. I can start sending out waves of aircraft. I completely neglected this last time. And they do tend to help. But I wouldn't say you exactly have air dominance in the battle sphere currently. So be prepared to lose aircraft. Which typically isn't a fantastic hobby of mine. I don't like losing aircraft a hell of a lot. Okay, we're going to just dig in until the Marines get here. Go. I find this strategy to be pretty micro-heavy because you're constantly trying to get more forces aboard these ships. But if you can get it done, you can make an enormous landing force. If you can make it there. That is the weak spot. In transit, you are weak. There's a very good chance that you will lose something, as your units are, well, in the most fragile state, because those armies cannot fight back. Let's get 1, 2, 3. All of you. I got this landing ship, which is full, so that we can send you along. Oh, I've completely forgot production. Let's go with a couple of army bases. Denmark has been transferred to the Warsaw Pact. I think they didn't do that strictly voluntarily. Okay, that is another landing ship that's full. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships. So that's 20, sorry, 6 ships. It's 24 units that are coming in. 1, 2. Loading process is fantastic considering we're loading whole divisions aboard. Because that's, what, 10,000 people? Do we still have forces here? Nope. All those birds are busy. Nah, whatever. I think we have enough for now. So, let's get you going. Alright. The guys over here, how are we doing?
Research complete.
Where is my airdrop off? Here. Let's get that fob. You are not getting through this line. Brussels will remain ours. I'm not sure I can defend the whole airbase, but it'd be a bit of bonus if we could do that. You can see that it just overwhelmed Ramstein, as expected. Entrench. Elsenborn camp. Like, if it goes, it goes. It's not a terribly big interest of mine. If it goes, it goes. I do seem to have some range. Yeah, so you... They got a lot of stuff there. Good lord. Eisenhower's here. In case you're wondering, why are they all damaged? Well, that's because my ships are, I think, too advanced for what they should be. It looks a bit weird, but that's basically the deal. They're kind of too advanced for what they're carrying. They just occupied Western Germany. Transfer to Warsaw Pact. Yes, yes. Let's get rid of the Admiral Makarov and the Kirov. The DDs are going to be tedious, especially for submarines to handle. So let's not bother too much. Let's queue up some more units. Let's get some more mobile ground units, a couple of armies. Well, they got a sub in there as well. That'll make things more difficult. Can I quickly upgrade my naval tech for subs? It's 10 minutes plus 3. But that only improves torpedoes. Azrox, yeah. I don't have that amount of time, not right now. Because what I do not need is for this cruiser to annoy me here. And that's currently what it's doing. It's really a sort of aerial denial weapon. And because its anti-air capabilities are also very good, that means there isn't that much that I can currently use to attack it. Short of a nuke, that is. Let's go with air-launched cruise missiles. Maybe that'll work. Against the Udaloy and the Kirov. I kind of doubt it, but hey. As long as they don't shoot those missiles down, which they do. I just need to launch a whole wave of them. And I need to get eyes on them, because therein lies the problem at the moment. I can't see anything. Ah, we're getting some damage in. They're not liking that. Ooh, boy. Come on. Get rid of them. Oh, they shut down the AWACS. Okay, subs, let's go. Let's go get the kid off. This is the most dangerous ship. Torpedoes out. I think Bart Mancuso's boat's not going to survive. Dallas is having a bit of a rough time here. Torpedoes are circling. We might have a range advantage. A minor one. But we're getting there. How about that? DD's gone. I still have all of my subs. Can you say the same? Don't think so. Alright. So that cleared that up. Keep in mind, they still got some naval assets in the Baltic, which means you better be careful. Oh, now they sunk a ship.
Submarine.
2 of them, even. I should have stayed at range. 3 of them! Ugh, whatever. Okay, my naval amphibious force is coming in, under command of the Yorktown. And nothing is breaking this line. Absolutely nothing is breaking this line. What I, however, cannot, and this is my personal honor, what I cannot allow them to do is capture the Netherlands. We are not having that. They might be entrenched, but we're not having that. There we go. Now we've established supply lines. Get rid of these forces. Anybody who's badly wounded can retreat to the FOB. Everybody who's not, keep fighting and push them out of Amsterdam. Hold on. I have an aircraft carrier, and you have a problem. You need to fall back. No, not all of you. Just you. Here comes the Amphib force. Now the beauty of the Amphib force is that you can spread them around. So you can also assist Turkey if you so desire. Typically I find it easier to just throw a cruiser or 2 close to Turkey, and that'll clear up any and every army unit that you find annoying. So I'm going to queue up a ship like a cruiser. And let's actually go 2 cruisers. It's 2 minutes only. You can, if you are amphibious, just amphib your way into, let's say, Poland here. It is a bit risky, especially with those DDs around, but if you got your own cruisers, it's going to be very difficult for them to make her stand. They captured it? Unacceptable outcome. Piss off. Come on, army base. Today would be great. What the hell? Look, I know you got armies in there. Send them out. Thank you. Yeah, we're badly wounding them now. Thank you. I'd like the capital back. They got a couple of weaker spots here, so you're gonna stay here, and the rest of you are not. Good lord, this this death blob over there. That's dangerous. I'm gonna have to peel them off one by one. Same for Hamburg. That's a lot of firepower. But thankfully, reinforcements have arrived. So now we're gonna drop off, well, I think everybody. And I have my own death blob. Keep in mind, death blobs are great to have. As long as the enemy doesn't have chemical weapons. Because in that case, you're going to find your death blob get murdered fairly quickly. As chemical weapons are a phenomenal way to very quickly get rid of armies. Be advised. Let's see how they do against this. This is 25 armies and 2 combat engineers. Increased Soviet armies and SIGINT major offensive is underway. Yeah, mine. Yeah, there we go. We got mustard gas and sarin gas exposure. Let's get some additional cruisers in. In the meanwhile, let's throw those additional cruisers just there. You're free to fire at whatever you see fit. Focus fire. They're targeted by 25 armies. Next. I'll take Frankfurt now, thank you very much. The only thing I gotta keep in mind is that I am very much exposed to chemical and biological weapons. There you go. But I also still have 1 combat engineer here. So I can fairly easily throw down a fob and start healing up everybody while we capture Frankfurt. Now, again, this is basically strategy 2. Just ship a massive death blob across, and once you're there, barge your way into the Pact countries, barge your way into Eastern Germany, capture everything, complete the mission. Time for strategy 3. Airpower. Strategy 3, death from above. We're going to upgrade our aircraft, and we're going to try and launch an air campaign. There is a bit of a problem with this one, though. You don't really get to build bases in or near Europe. At least not early game. You can do so mid-game, but early game, no. What I can do is start throwing air-launched ballistic missiles at the enemy. It's not your friendliest tactic, but hey, we're not here to make friends. I'm going to go for 3 air bases, and just queue up a couple of bombers, because I might lose a few. As for research, I'm going to try and get my bombers upgraded as quickly as possible, because I need those. Fighters, I don't need as much. Out of all these 3 strategies, I think this one's actually the weakest, and I wouldn't really recommend this. And this is, you're going to see why in a minute. Alright. My airbase cannot be built in the UK, cannot be built in Ireland, cannot be built in Europe. I don't have any place where I can throw an airbase down. Keflavik is part of my airbase arsenal, if you will. But I can't use it. So that's unfortunate. Let's go with air-launched ballistic missiles on the bombers. All the bombers. And I guess we're just going to have to use Canada in order to house our aircrafts. There. Now, with these missiles, these conventional air-launched ballistic missiles. So they're not nuclear tipped, they're just conventionals. I'm going to set up a mission which says I want my air bases to start engaging armies. I'm going to try and stop the enemy as best as I can. I don't care for time destruction or synchronized. I don't have biological or chemical weapons. I don't want nukes. And I do not want maximum range. Because watch what happens when you go for that. They will try to hit everybody in Turkey as well. That's a bit far away. And you're also flying over tons and tons of enemy air defenses. 3,500 is a bit low. 5,000 is going to let Keflavik... I'm not going to have Keflavik join this fight. Because there will be naval units coming down there. And I need to prepare for that. So let's go... what? Like 5,700? Yes. 5,700 meter range. That'll definitely allow you to do some damage. I can even go a little lower. I do not wish to fly into Eastern Europe just yet, if I don't absolutely have to. The problem with this strategy is that you're still going to rely upon those 4 units that you have. And they're going to fall pretty quickly. Especially because you're upgrading something else. You're upgrading your aircraft. I'm going to go with late supersonic bombers. Upgrade that. 4.5 generation aircraft or 4.5s. I don't really care. Because I'm not going to use fighters, nor multi-rolls, nor interceptors that much. Stealth bombers would be great. but you also need this as a prerequisite. So that'll take a lot of time. Production-wise, let's go with a couple of... Well, let's actually make a specialized airbase. I can build high-speed bombers on those. I don't typically use them, but they might be interesting in this particular plan. Okay, execute plan alpha. And send up the B-52s. And they are each carrying one air-launched ballistic missile. Just one. The benefit of these missiles is that they got a lot of range. 1350. If I... Can I compare that to the standard range? Like an air-launched cruise missile? You, come up here. Yeah, this guy has a range of 533. These guys have a range of 1350. So that means I don't have to worry about getting into range of air defenses nearly as much. And I really do not want to get in range of any air defenses if I don't absolutely have to, thank you very much. Let's get an AWACS patrolling over Iceland. And there's the Soviet Navy. What I do think is a bit of a problem with the air-launched ballistic missiles, they don't really... See, there they go. They're not really suitable to hitting mobile targets. And as such, you might find that against ships they don't do very well. So if you want to improve that, you can. It's not impossible. You're just going to have to go with better smart weapons and get evasive hybrid cruise missiles and or advanced missile guidance. But that's more of a prerequisite for something else. AGMs, not that useful because it's shorter ranged air to ground, which I don't really need right now. I do need you guys to dig in. Let's see if I can save Ramstein. I'm going to try and airlift some engineers over. Maybe I can save that base and still have at least some airfield in Europe. I don't really need an AWACS because I can see what's going on anyway. Air-launched cruise missiles, they're only packing 1. If I go air-to-ground missile, they're packing 4. But I don't exactly have air superiority in this battle space. Nor are these fighters particularly bright in the course that they pick. See, you cannot expect to fly all the way over the front line and not die. Therein lies the problem. Yeah, we're going to have to get rid of that Admiral Makarov. Let's go with the bombers. I'm going to say... Well, let's actually test it out with a conventional air-launched ballistic missile. No, it actually makes it through. Didn't expect that. Did not expect that. So basically all I need to do is just take off and launch that missile. It's that simple. Unfortunately, Keflavik is having some issues launching. We got some damage in. Once you start combining these subs, which you have anyway, so you might as well, it's going to get a little easier. Alright, how are we doing here? I was combining some engineers into an airlift op here. Denmark's been occupied. Yes, it's all a big shame. I'll get to them later. Okay, I stand corrected. These air-launched ballistic missiles are very capable against warships. Much more so than I was expecting. Much more so. For some reason though, my birds seem to be doing a bit of a weird thing here. Can we eliminate the Makarov here, please? No, you're going for the army here. Which I think... Oh, they're almost dead. Have they occupied Oslo yet? No, but in 20 seconds they will. That's unfortunate. All bombers are alive, thanks to using those air-launched ballistic missiles. If you use shorter range missiles, they tend not to survive. Because you don't have the firepower. I only got 2 birds here. Never mind, Ramstein is dead. I still got Aviano, whatever's left of it, which isn't much. Yeah, whatever. Might as well try and get some damage out of them while we still have it. As for the specialized airbase, this can launch the interceptors as well as the high-speed bombers. The high-speed bombers can only drop a heavy bomb. I don't find that to be that useful because they simply don't have a lot of range. And, well, without that range, I can barely make England without running out of fuel. So that's why I typically don't use specialized air bases. But standard air bases should be fine. So let's prio those. Another missile away. There's a big stack here. We're getting some damage in, but it's not fast. Once those late supersonic bombers get here, we should start seeing a bit more effect. Unfortunately, by that time, there might not be a whole lot of Europe left. So, I think it's best to combine this particular strategy with airlifting your units out. Otherwise, you'll find that there isn't much to save. Oh crap, that's not the right space. I airlifted you to the wrong site. You need to go there. So do you. You need to go there. Anyway, with these strategies, it's mostly a, I'd say, focus. Not exclusively doing one particular thing. Because that's when you'll run into trouble. I mean, yes, this is working, but it's slow. Let's see if I can get the Strojny destroyed. Well, that took a decent chunk out of him. I can't wait for the B1s to get upgraded. Oops. Cancel the attack. We're going to have to go after ships first. So I'm going to say attack destroyers and cruisers. Go. Takes off. Missile away. I still got my submarines around. I only need to get rid of these destroyers, and I'll have a much easier time getting rid of them. There's the Kirov. Making life very difficult on my Dutch nation there. Here come the aircraft. Excellent. I still have eyes on them, as thanks to the AWACS here. 4 submarines. Come on, I need to get rid of the dirt ski. Attack that. Attack that. Attack that. Do not fly over that air defense. Do not. Because you will not survive that. Oh god. I need to cancel their orders first, otherwise they'll just derp their way into trouble. There we go. Hit, hit, hit. Cancel and engage the dirt ski. Because once this thing is gone, engaging these cruisers is going to be a cakewalk. Against submarines, they really don't have any options. They got no way to fight that. Ah, we got the B1s. Excellent, excellent. Why are you still engaging that? Oh, because armies are prio 2. Got it. Alright, research. What else can we get? Electronic warfare can give you active missile interference, which means that all of your aircraft have a much better chance of survival. Passively reduces accuracy and damage done by enemy anti-ship missiles, surface-to-air missiles, and air-to-air missiles. So yes, I'll take that gladly. We do have an airbase, but according to the game I still haven't arrived in Europe, and as such I still cannot build in Europe. That is, if you wish to build in Europe at all, because there isn't that much left where you can build. Come on, get rid of that sub. Oh, they're using nuclear torpedoes, aren't they? We got them. Alright, boys. We still have the Kirov around. Let's go get rid of the Udaloy. Boom. What? Kill. See, unless these guys are dealt with, even if you could build in Britain, it would be rather bad for your survivability. Because you don't have any. Wow, they intercepted everything? Calling me impressed. Oh, the Ognavoy is in front as well. Okay, fine. Manually target this. Just completely scratch that as a prio. Oh, we'll have lost line of sight. Can we get an AWACS here, please? It's not the safest place for an AWACS to be, but at the moment I don't really have anything else for them to do. Hold on, boys. We need to sort out priorities. Oh, Boston. You're gonna not survive that encounter. Unless you kite them around. In which case, maybe you can. Execute. Keep around, but don't get yourself killed. Where are you... What? Where were you possibly heading? No! We talked about this not too long ago. I said don't get killed. And here we are. Why are these strategic... Oh... Right. It's set up to maximum range. Yeah, therein lies the problem. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So, what I need to do is resupply these air bases, replenish aircraft, replenish aircraft, and just go after something that's a bit closer. We're going to cancel the plan, and we're going to edit the plan and say I want to synchronize attack type destruction. There we go. Now we can finally establish bases here. That took me long enough. You and you. These air bases. I'm going to execute you from Plan Alpha. I'm going to say you guys are exclusively part of Plan Bravo, Plan Beta, and you're going to go after army divisions. That means that these bases, for now, are not going to be a part of Plan Bravo, but they will be plan of Part Alpha. So these are now on anti-naval duty. The B bases, if you will, are part of the plan against the armies, which means that they have no shortage of targets. You're going to get excluded from that one as well. I don't want to see any lines that aren't supposed to go there. No. Maximum range, almost nothing. 1,300 kilometers? Yes, that's what I want to see. Now, loadout is going to be GBUs. If you use GBUs, you will find that you don't survive, because you're flying almost directly over the enemy SAMs. So this time around I'm going to go with air-launched cruise missiles, because that way I know that I can deliver a slightly bigger punch rather than using air-launched ballistics. As long as these guys aren't retarded and flying into enemy airspace, they can do some damage. Never mind. I'll just manually guide these boys in, otherwise they just stupidly run to their deaths. Launch your missiles, get out. Thank you. Okay, never mind. We're not doing enough damage. Air-launched ballistic missiles. Get that in. Do it now. They're really overrunning Europe in an immediate and massive rush. Execute Alpha. Simultaneous attack on the entire Soviet fleet as we know about it.
Research complete.
Okay, so we got the active missile interference. I can go advanced chaff and IR. This is just a way to play it. This is not the best way to play it. Wait. And this is also why I said I don't really like this strategy. Slytherin asked me to check it out, but I don't really like it for the simple reason that I find it to be the weakest one. Whereas, for example, shipping tons and tons of armies across, yeah, that works. That works very, very, very well. Airlifting your armies using 1 or 2 or even 3 army bases, that works very well. But right now, I just don't have enough boots on the ground here. So, solely focusing on aircraft, I don't like it as much, because it doesn't yield me as much firepower. What I can try and do in this scenario, these guys are all... They're not carrying SAMs, Oh, okay. Let's go for the AA gun sight then. Hold on, you're not part of any plan. Did we get the Soviet Navy yet? Oh, we got some decent damage in. Yeah. As long as there's no AA, maybe I can do GBU strikes. It's not great, but they do a lot of damage. Yep, there's still a gun sight there. Oh, these guys actually survive? Didn't expect that. Let's go get an ALBM on that. Come on. Boom. Okay, now I should have an easier time getting GBUs in there. Lots and lots and lots of GBUs. Because there's no shortage of targets. Look at how slowly those bombs come down. See, now we're getting somewhere. As for packing these things with chemical warheads, I guess you could. I typically don't use it that much, because I find them to be unpredictable. But, yeah, you could throw like a mustard gas bomb on top of something. Let me illustrate that right quick. And you potentially will be able to get rid of units fairly swiftly. Let's get rid of these. Air patrol. I don't know how one air patrols with a strategic bomber, but I guess you can. Basic chemicals coming up. The problem is that I believe you need to build basic chemicals.
Production complete.
Airbase done. Let's give me another tactical airbase. Very effective short range. No. Damn it. They're flying all the way over hostile territory. Not a great plan. Okay, we got the bombs. So now we're gonna go chemical bombs. Cancel that. The problem is there's mobile SAMs around. They do have mustard gas exposure, but I'm not sure it's doing enough work. Anyway, this is, as far as I'm concerned, the weakest strategy. Focusing on air bases is difficult because you can't really build them in any area close enough until such a time as when they're going to be very useful. And once you can build them here, the enemy has built up a massive blob, and yes, you can disassemble it, but it'll take you a lot of time. Of course, this time around, I didn't focus very heavily... Where are you going? I didn't focus very heavily on doing other stuff, such as airlifting armies or even shipping armies across. So it is something that can definitely be improved. But just focusing heavily on an air campaign, I don't recommend it. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I do like how ICBM Escalation gives you different strategies, different options, different ways to play. There's no real right or wrong way to play. I'd say there's just ways that are more effective and less effective. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and I shall see you soon for more videos.